Oh my God, what it has been, what an issue it has been, but we are live. This has been a nightmare trying to get started, and I am so sorry. I was supposed to start an hour ago, but I am here now, and let me get some of our audio in check here. All right. What a crazy... I don't even know how to explain it. It's just been... I've spent the past hour trying to get things going, and for some reason, some very strange reason that's unbeknownst to me, I just, for the life of me, I couldn't get it going. But I've got it going now, and I'm trying to get my chat going here, so give me a second. I honestly, I don't really expect too many people to tune in because, frankly, nobody knows, because this thing was just all borked up. But that's okay. I'm just gonna keep doing this, and let me go ahead and pop out the chat here. Yeah, where are you, YouTube? Come on, you can do this. All right. So if you're just joining in, actually probably nobody's joining in, but we'll see. Let's see if I can refresh this. Let's see, we're gonna go view the channel. We're not live from YVR. Let me go ahead and change that. See if I can get in there and change that. That's craziness. YouTube, what are you doing to me? Oh boy. Late V. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. We're not live from Vancouver, but we will be live from somewhere. Let's see if I can adjust our thumbnail here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure all this out here. And we're going to go, let's see. I need to go to, nope, close that. I don't know why YouTube did me dirty earlier, but we will fix this. Let's see if we can go in. So one of the things I'm doing tonight is I'm actually I'm testing out yet another lens. And I'm hoping to see what you guys think about it. Of course, then again, I'm still trying to figure out why certain things aren't working correctly. So let's see here. We got some viewers. Good. That's good. I'm glad you guys are joining in. Thanks for joining in. This has been an absolute just bonkers thing of getting online. I reset a bunch of stuff. For whatever reason, YouTube just refused to take my stream live. But here we are, and it says from Vancouver. I can't adjust that. I might. Let me see if I can. Now I want to create a highlight. I want to figure out if I can change the thumbnail here. I don't know if I can. Let me go to Studio and Content and Live, and let's do this. We'll go to Edit. There we go. Let's see if we can change our thumbnail here, just so people don't come in and thinking that we're going to be doing something from Vancouver tonight. I don't know why it defaulted to that, but whatever. I'll pull up. Bear with me, folks. I am getting close. Go away. Come on. All right. Well, this will probably be the best that I can do. Let's see. How's everybody doing this evening? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being patient and giving me some space to kind of figure this all out, because it has been absolute nuts tonight trying to get everything to go. And you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to adjust this. So I'm not going to worry about it. You know what? People are going to come in going, this isn't Vancouver. And you know what? You're going to be absolutely right. But that's okay. We're going to just get out of this stuff and focus in on the aircraft that we got going. Okay. And I can hear myself here. All right. So we are not in Vancouver. So pay no attention to the thumbnail. We are actually in Seattle. And for whatever reason, YouTube just was being a complete pain in the butt tonight trying to get live, but I am live now. And so that's great because there's lots of stuff going on tonight, and there's a whole reason for doing this was because I wanted to share with you guys everything that I saw coming in tonight. So, all right, let me go ahead and get air traffic control back on here. We do have a heavy coming up here. Let me take a look and see what we got coming in. Oh, that's an Emirates. And I believe that's a 777-300. That's a 200. All right, so let's get our air traffic control going here on Bluetooth. Okay, we're going to turn that on. Connect there. We're connected. Okay, close that. Come back. And we should hear ATC in short order here. Fingers crossed. So there's our 777-200 long range. There we go. And now we've got air traffic control. Wow, what a journey it's been tonight. It's Friday night. I had this awesome thumbnail and all this other stuff set up and a huge description. So if you're in here, thanks a bunch. What a mess it has been. So here's our Emirates.
Alaska 524 from the departure, good day.
Alaska 524.
Alaska 296, Seattle-Tacoma taxiway, November, cross runway 16 center, hold short of runway 16 left.
November, cross runway 16.
So we're looking down the barrel of 16 left here at Seattle International, aka SeaTac, and we have normally this is a little bit of a lull around between 5:30 and 6:30. There's a little bit of a lull, so it's good that we're kind of getting things partially going here because this, for whatever reason, just didn't want to work tonight. But we're doing okay now. And so we're going to just stick with this. So I got this lens for the weekend, and I'm gonna come back on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and stream again. But I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of a dress rehearsal this evening and see what we get. So one of the cool things about this lens is it's actually the longest lens I've ever attached to this camera, so you can see that dude's about a half mile away, and we're catching it just fine.
That's 6:15. We just have to pull off for a few minutes, please. Right here.
Oops. Didn't mean to get that. It's also a very heavy lens, so it likes to point down a lot. Feel free to chat in the chat box. Check in, say howdy. Tell me where you're watching from. This flight coming up here is a 737 MAX 9. This is headed out to St. Louis. There's that 777. Off it goes.
Condor, please, and then contact ground, no problem.
Cross 6 on Condor and over ground America 751.
Alaska 296 on November, cross runway 16 left and contact ground.
So I'm expecting quite a bit of action tonight. We've got British Airways. We just unfortunately missed the Aurora livery of Alaska Airlines taking off going over to Rome, but that's okay because there's going to be lots of other aircraft. As a matter of fact, let's see, we do have a Virgin A330 headed up the way. It should be poking its head out pretty soon here, and that is headed out to Heathrow. I'm expecting a British Airways as well. We have a Condor that's headed out to Frankfurt that's not too far behind.
Skywas 3857, be advised, Turkish will be pulling into slot 88.
Thanks, Skywas 3857.
Well, Pip, you had an amazing run last night. I'm impressed. I certainly could not have done what you did. So hats off to you for doing a 12-hour live stream at DFW last night. That was pretty amazing to go to bed and you were rolling, and then to come back from sleep and you were still going. That was hats off to you, buddy. That takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy drinks and a lot of inappropriate humor, I think, during the live stream too. Okay, we do have a FedEx MD-11. They are, looks like they're lined up for, they are lined up for the right side. So let's kind of go off here. Should be able to catch them.
Southwest 2826, looks back cross from 16 left, taxi to spot 99, contact the south.
There they are.
Good day.
MD-11. Something you don't see very much. And you don't see it all right now because it's behind the trees. The UPS MD-11 is still parked at Boeing Field. And I do believe because of UPS's maintenance protocols or lack thereof, I mean, I'm just reading things. UPS MD-11s are probably never going to fly again, or if they do, they're going to have to go through some severe maintenance. All right, so coming up the road here.
United 8118,
this is their A330 Virgin Atlantic.
United 8118, do you have numbers from the 16 gunner?
We do for United 8118.
Yeah, Pip, I have no idea what happened. I really have no idea what happened. It was frustrating as all get out to struggle with this equipment for an hour, which I assume was probably, for lack of a better term, pilot error, but it hasn't failed me before, so I'm going to have to go back and analyze what it was that caused the stream to not connect ultimately with YouTube. But that's okay. We're here now. We're here. So this is Virgin Atlantic here. This is going out to Heathrow. A330-900 series. It's only 3 years old.
Alaska 284, thanks for patience with 270.5, runway 16 left, certainly about.
Runway 16 left, clear for takeoff, Alaska.
Yes, I know Seattle flights. I know very well that it's the wrong thumbnail. I don't know how to adjust it midstream on an iPad. I will adjust it when I get back home. In the meantime, we're just slightly south of Vancouver.
Seattle Tower on taxiway, Quebec, across runway 16 left, hold forward from runway 16 left.
All right, on Quebec, cross 16.
I don't know why YouTube defaults to a certain type of thumbnail. I think that when you go live, when you just click the live button, but it doesn't matter now. We are live. People are finding us, and that's all that really matters. And I'm sorry for the bait and switch. It really wasn't intentional. It's just what YouTube did to me. And you try and adjust the thumbnail on an iPad, I guarantee you that's not possible. Okay, so the flight's coming right behind the Virgin Atlantic. We have a we've got a 321 headed to nowhere, which is right here. So Godspeed, people. Hope you figure out where you're going at some point.
Departure for Alaska 284, you need the same.
1-year-old airplane. And then directly behind them, headed out to Dallas, Mr. Pip's home, is an A220, which Delta tends to favor these days, to DFW. Come on, get in focus. There you go. And then the big boy right behind. That is a Finnair that's headed to Helsinki. That's an A330-300.
Cross 16 left at Charlie, line for wait. 16 center, E118.
Delta 870 at taxiway Charlie, cross runway 16 left, hold short of runway 16 center.
Cross 16 left, hold short 16 center, Charlie, Delta 870.
Welcome in, Robert.
Heavy,
101 heavy, Seattle Tower.
Thanks, Pip. I can't adjust it on the fly. I just said that.
Showing gate 01, is that what you have as well?
And if I can't adjust it on the fly, it doesn't want me to do it on the iPad. This is the whole reason I'm supposed to bring my laptop with me, because I'm sorry, YouTube, your controls for making adjustments to live streams from external encoders on an iPad or an iPhone are atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Okay, so this flight, this is headed out to Helsinki. They have a 4,000 nautical mile flight ahead of them, scheduled to get in at 1:10 tomorrow. You can tell those are not the next generation engines because they are loud. And there's our jailbird Condor right behind, heading out to Frankfurt.
United 8118, Crossway Cruise, heavy departure off of runway 16 left, minus 505, runway 16 center.
You know what, Pip? We haven't seen any E175s yet.
Delta 870, runway 16 center.
I'd have just jinked myself. Finnair. Man, I'm just happy we got the stream going, because that was just a nightmare, and I was about to throw stuff. Oh, we got an inbound here. This is an Alaska flight, I believe from Rome. Let's see if we can catch them. Maybe. There they are. Here they go. So, something about this lens that I'm trying out tonight, and I seem to be doing this a lot, I know, because I'm trying to find the right lens for plane spotting before I invest in it. And this one is not bad, but the only problem is going out on the wide end, I can't zoom out far enough. So I think I've found my lens that goes a little bit further telephoto and a little bit further back, but nobody rents it. So I have to buy it and then just hope that it works. All right, there goes Finnair taking the active runway 16 left, headed out to Helsinki. So if you're tuning in and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't Vancouver, you're absolutely right. It's not Vancouver, and good for you for being an astute judgment of scenery. But this is Seattle, and we had some technical issues early on that forced me to delete the original posting of the stream that I had, and YouTube defaults to I don't know how it defaults to whatever thumbnail it thinks is the one I want, which is not the one I want. But anyway, we'll roll with this now. And so you are in Seattle. You are not in Vancouver. We are south of the border. We are on the north side of the field. We are looking down the barrel of runway 16 left, which is closest to the terminal. So all of the runways that are on the field here, they are all north-south runways. They're 3-2 runways, 16 runways. So you have left, center, and right. And so they are on the west side of the field. And this is basically what we're looking at right now. So you can see the lineup starting to happen. This is nothing. This is kind of normal, actually. Finnair is lined up. And let's see here. Well, okay, so Condor, what are you doing, Condor? What are you doing, Condor? I guess just waiting.
left line up and wait, Condor 0, heavy. Speedbird 49 heavy, hold short 167.
Oh, there they go.
Speedbird 49 heavy, Seattle-Tacoma taxiway back across
So there's our Condor flight headed out to Frankfurt. And behind the trees they go.
On November across 16 Animal for 165 Skywest 127 Tango.
We get all the Condor colors here. We have the lovely mustard color, cut green. Seeing them all.
Spinner 34 heavy, compact departure, have a nice day.
All right, so let me get back in on our stream here and take a look. We do have, what's that FedEx flight doing? Oh, that's our MD-11 that landed. We'll see them. Condor is taking the active. This Alaska flight here is actually headed out to Newark. Well, we had an MD-11, Larry.
Condor 033 heavy, constantly.
Yep, you missed it. Had an MD-11. Just landed. This is Seattle International Airport, so pay no attention to the thumbnail. For lots of reasons that I'm not going to explain over and over again. Some reason YouTube defaulted to my old stream from like 6 months ago and said, okay, we're going to use this thumbnail, and I have no idea why, and I'm not in the mood to change it at the moment. So there goes Condor, and there's our flight to Newark, and of course our Southwest flights. So this 737-700 right behind the Alaska is headed out to Sacramento, and then directly behind them is a MAX 8 headed down to San Diego. This is where Pip's sugar mama lives. Or maybe future sugar mama lives.
Alaska 500 at November, cross Maryland, 61, contact ground, traffic position, November, cross Maryland, 61, steamer gate, contact left off ramp, good day.
All right, and then behind that Southwest, well, here we'll go to the shorty, the Southwest shorty.
Cross 16 left, and beat the gate, contact south ramp, Skywest 127.
Speedbird 49 heavy, expect
They are headed, again, they are headed out to Sacramento. Man, so I intended to stream this past Wednesday, especially after the debacle with the Blue Angels canceling on Saturday. That really stunk, especially since we were all set up ready to go. But on Wednesday, because we've had these wildfires in Washington State, especially around the Spokane area, and the smoke has filtered into the Seattle area, visibility on Wednesday was it was terrible. It was terrible. And with the zoom lens like this, all you would see would be smoke. It doesn't cut through the smoke just because you're zoomed in. So, but today seems to be a little bit clearer, so it's nice to be able to get out and catch some flights. Still smoky here, still smoggy. The air quality index is not terrible. I do not have any plans for Fleet Week at the moment. I used to live in the Bay Area. I've seen Fleet Week a number of times, and you know, I don't know. I'm actually headed out to Washington D.C. at right around, believe it or not, September 11th, and I will be there, and I may stream from DCA, but I have no sense of where to stream from. I got some comments yesterday during Pip's stream that, you know, people giving me some suggestions, and I'm thinking I might try and set up there, but really I'm just going there for other reasons, and I'm only there for a day, and I turn around and come back to Seattle. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to stream for there, but it would be cool if I could find a good place to set up and stream from, even if it was only for a couple of hours. The only problem is that the battery that I have that I use to do my streaming with, I'm pretty sure I can't bring on the airplane. So, all right, so this is our Southwest flight that is headed out to San Diego. If I can make it out to Edwards Air Force Base or thereabouts, I will do my best to capture that. And wouldn't it be cool if it was done live? Okay, so this Alaska flight here is headed out to Reno. This is 737 MAX 9. I didn't realize there's that many people headed to Reno from here, but okay. And then you can see now the line's starting to stack up a little bit, like a lot bit. And it's getting, yeah, it's getting, definitely getting crowded. Let's see, I'm just trying to look and see if we got any cool special liveries. We do have a 757 coming up here. No, I'm sorry, that's a 321. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of 737s and A320s coming up. See what heavies we've got coming up here, because I know I'm expecting some. Yes, we do have a A330 headed out to Paris, and I also have the oh, they just landed. When did they land? Okay, 6:30. Really? Okay. They just landed. I missed them. Oh, because they landed on the right side. Who puts the heavies on the right side?
372 Settle Tower, are you with me?
So they just keep on coming. I mean, it's just it's a parade. Our FedEx MD-11 is playing peekaboo behind the trees over to this side here. It's kind of right behind there. But there's the last flight headed to San Jose. And then right behind them, it's a flight to Austin. They're going to get in at 12:30. Whoosh. They got a journey ahead of them. And this will be a right behind them with the special windscreen there. That's the A321neo headed out to Minneapolis. So what I've noticed with Delta here in particular, when they're going out to Minneapolis, because it's a hub for Delta, they will either fly the 757 or the A321neo. That's just kind of their standard practice. What you'll find here, if you're new to watching Seattle area flights, there is an intense, almost bitter war between Alaska and Delta here for supremacy. And of course, Alaska, this is their home base, and they don't want Delta muscling in on their action. So, you know, they're going to keep duking it out for quite a while. Alaska is slowly establishing more international routes direct from Seattle. And as a result, with the 787s and the acquisition of Hawaiian Airlines, so with the 787, those aircraft are going to Rome, they're going to Haneda, Narita, Incheon, Heathrow. They're going all over the place now. So they're slowly expanding. And I'd be really interested to see what happens with the Duke out between these two airlines.
Alaska 503 at Mike Cross, my 16 left end, contact for now. Good day.
Yep, the line just keeps on going. I mean, I can zoom out a little bit here.
535 November, crossing runway 16 off 15 ground bidding.
And this is common for Seattle. What you'll get, and there's a lot of airports in the United States, and I'm guessing worldwide, they have these spurts where there's just a bunch of them getting out of here, and then a bunch of them come in about the same time, and they kind of they unload the peeps, they load on new peeps, and away they go. So they're not here very long. In most cases, they're not here very long. Most of the heavies that I have seen take off to this point were landing when I was setting up and attempting to get the live stream going. So if that gives you any indication, that you were talking about like an A330 or an A350, and they're turning that thing around in an hour and a half tops. It's pretty impressive. So this whole system relies on a constant turnover, which results in these little lulls here and there as they get people on and off the airplane, or off and on the airplane. Pip wants a sugar mama, and he would prefer a sugar mama from San Diego. That's what I'm saying. All right, so that's our current line up there.
Delta 949, will you wait, tropical crossing?
We're ready to go.
I think it's about time Pip had a sugar mama. Somebody to fund his streaming activities, you know? I think he's put in the effort. What do you think?
Delta 949, 2405, number 16
Okay, got 1600, Delta 949.
On the 352, thanks for help, contact departure, have a nice day.
No problem, over departure, thank you. Alaska 1388, can take Delta if it helps with the unit.
Man, I definitely set up in the wrong spot today. I'm just going to get blasted with sun until the sun goes down. That's okay. Still working on that base tan. Halfway through summer, or 2/3 of the way through summer, I guess. Okay, we do have a Delta. That Delta flight that's headed to Charles de Gaulle, that's coming up the taxiway pretty soon here. Still lots of 737s. Thankfully, very few E175s. I see a couple here, but mostly 737s, as is common here in the Seattle area. We do have a United 321 landing. I'm going to try and catch it right here briefly. Nope, there it is. That's what I'm saying. This lens is like, I can't zoom out far enough on it, unfortunately, but I can get really tight. I'll be able to catch him landing right there. Boop, boop. Just to give you a little bit of perspective here, so with this lens, if I zoom all the way out, not that it really matters, but if I zoom all the way out, that's as far out as I can go. Now, you're like, well, that's not that far. Well, I'm already at, right now, if you know anything about cameras, I'm at about 225 millimeters with this lens. So it's already way telephoto. So, and that's about 700 millimeters right there. So we can see straight down the runway and straight up the taxiway and see who's coming down the pipe. We do have a Prime Air flight that doesn't seem where it knows where it wants to go according to flight radar. That's a 767 that should be taking off out of here. That is a old airplane, 33 years old. So we'll see what happens with them. The MD-11 is, okay, so the MD-11 that just landed, it's scheduled to get out of here. I don't see how that's even possible. scheduled to get out of here at 7 o'clock, which is in 6 minutes. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm not. Maybe there's another MD-11 there. So here's a Sky Team special livery Delta. This is headed out to Austin, Texas. Flight radar is heavily confused. All right, I'm just trying to see if we get any heavies on approach. I don't see anything at the moment on this side of the field, but we'll keep keeping an eye out. Let's see. Just looking at arrivals here, so just so you can see what I'm looking at. There goes our Sky Team. So, looking here, we do have a. Okay, that was the. Okay, they landed already. We have a DHL GB414. What is that? No, okay, 767.
Yeah, we got numbers for 1600.
So we have a number of aircraft coming in here in the next half hour, 45 minutes. Quite a bit. We do have an EVA Air 787 coming in around 8 o'clock. Aero Mexico's coming in. I believe that's a 737 though. Yeah, it's 737. They have Volaris coming in, which is, I believe, is an A320. Yep, A320. And we do have a flight. We have the Delta 21, which is an A330 coming in from Heathrow. So we got quite a number of flights coming in. I mean, there's some big ones coming in here. The plan is, just so you know, because we started late, it doesn't really make a difference because I'm trying to time this with what I see coming in. And right now, I really want to end right around with like some kind of heavy coming in. So there's a few of them, but it really right now it's just it's a matter of seeing who comes in and when. It really has to do with schedules, flight schedules, and a lot of these that are live already. That means they're already up in the air. Oh, we have to go around here. There they are. I don't know what happened there. Somewhere out there. Yep, they are going around. They're from Phoenix. Not sure what happened with them. But they're going around. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we have a Starlux that's got their ADS-B on, but they landed not too long ago, but it looks like they're pushing back, so they're headed over to Taipei, which is cool. That's that is a, what is that? That's a 350-900. So we got some cool ones coming in here. Coming in or departing. So we're going to see a lot of stuff. So the plan is to end around sunset, around 8:30-ish local time here. We can see our flight from Seattle to Charles de Gaulle right there.
386 cross, 16 left, line up weight, 16 center.
330-900.
Hold short of 16 center, left, 554.
Southwest 3743, Seattle-Tacoma, taxiway set cross from 16 center, hold short of 16 left, traffic hold on position.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I didn't even turn on my little radar screen. My apologies. Somebody should have said something.
Center on Quebec, hold short, 1. 3743.
1375, that might cross runway 16 left, contact ground traffic 4 mile
I do have it here. Let me see if I can turn this back on. I can probably do it.
Traffic 4 mile final.
Volaris is they're departing a little bit later on.
Left, the gate, contact the north ramp.
Mario.
16 left, north ramp, present 2339.
Gas 3743, keep your speed up, or sorry, southwest 3743.
You can see the relative size difference. I mean, okay, there's your 330 there, and which this 330 is only 4 years old, but I mean, look at it compared to the aircraft right behind it, which is 11 years old, and that is a 737-900. Just gives you a sense of scale.
Yeah, 3433, speed up November, cross runway 16 left, taxi the gate, contact north ramp, traffic 3 mile final.
Speed up, cross 16 left November, leave the gate, north ramp, Sky 3433.
1573, contact departure today.
It looks like we do have coming out of the gate here. They're hanging out, but there is hiding back behind these trees somewhere is a 777 freighter, FedEx freighter that's headed out to Memphis. So we'll catch them for sure. These guys are waiting to depart. Prime Air 2, the 767. So we have a 777, a 767, and an A330 all within a few minutes of each other. We do have a flight coming in, which I don't know what it is. Oh. This is from Portland. This is our unmarked airplane, which is where? Oh, man. Okay. So that lens this lens I'm gonna have to get used to. So you guys are experiencing this with me for the first time. My apologies. But you will see it right there. This will not be the lens that I ultimately select. I have some issues with it, but it's got a good zoom on it. So the Condor line keeps going here. I mean, it's just a bunch of them. And bringing up the rear there is that 767 that we're talking about. That is a Prime Air. So yes, if you haven't seen these before, Amazon has its own aircraft fleet, and they're predominantly 767s. And that's one of them right there. So this Delta flight here, that's about ready to take the actives headed over to Salt Lake City.
Have a great night, 564. T14 Seattle from Juliet, turn right for runway 16 center, next up Mike, and then hold short over runway 16 left. 16 center, exit Mike, hold short 16 left,
There we go. Trying to get less static in here. So there's my favorite plane, the E-175, headed out to Tucson. Fitting.
391 November cross, 16 short of 16 left. Alaska 391, as you cross, you'll see traffic off to your left. They'll be back taxiing, exiting north of you. Alaska 391, thank you.
Tower Delta 1923, ILS 16 left.
Delta 80 Heavy, contact departure.
Delta 80 Heavy, good day.
Well, hey there. Welcome in from El Salvador. That's awesome. So you're viewing an airport that's several thousand miles away from you. This is technically not, I don't know if you clicked on the live stream thinking this is Vancouver. Unfortunately, it's not Vancouver, or fortunately, it's not Vancouver, depending on your point of view. This is actually Seattle International. So we're about 2 hours south of Vancouver, and there's a lot of reasons why the thumbnail is what it is, but you're watching Seattle traffic right now. That's why you see so much Alaska traffic and Delta traffic here. So this flight, is, like I said, is headed to Tucson. I feel like, okay, we do have a Delta flight that's trying to get up on out of here. That's Salt Lake City. And right after that, this Tucson, and then right after that, Seattle to Las Vegas.
65, wind 2705, runway 16 up, clear for takeoff.
Right there.
Sky was 3225, caution jet blast at Charlie, cross my 16 left, runway 16 center, line up wait.
We can adjust our...
16 left, and line up white for 16 center, sky 3220.
There we go. A little bit brighter. Okay, so coming up in the lineup here, somebody kind of nudged their way in, and rightly so. There's the FedEx right behind the. So here, this is an amazing shot because look at the size difference between the 767 and the 777. I mean, seeing them side by side like this really gives you a sense of scale. And then if you look at 737 right in front of them. I mean, that really shows the size difference between the three models of the aircraft, because that one that's actually right in front, that is a 737-900, so it's not a MAX series, but it has a similar length. So it's one of the largest, one of the largest 737 series with the hundreds before the MAX. But that just gives you an idea of the raw sense of scale between these three aircraft. We do have an aircraft landing here, but it's just it looks like a 320. I mean, look, if you put the 175 in front of that, there you go.
Alaska 478 on Charlie, cross my 16 left, runway 16 center, line up wait. Charlie, bid across 16 left.
So the Starlux aircraft is on the move. That's a 350-900. That looks like they're getting out of here pretty soon. So they should be coming in the lineup. I'm not really entirely sure what's going on with them because Flight Radar has them going on a separate track. I'm not really sure what's happening there. I hope they're not parking somewhere. They could be. They could be getting towed, which that's also a possibility.
Alaska Q14 on Mike, cross 916 left, traffic in position, contact ground.
We do have an Air Lingus that's headed to Dublin. I saw them arrive earlier. That's a 330, so they're on their way out. They pushed back just now, and so they'll be heading out here pretty soon.
Delta 1923, left turn Papa, right turn Bravo to spot 99, and contact the ramp. Traffic at Quebec will pass behind you.
Delta 1923, left turn Papa, right Bravo, 99, ramp.
Alaska 478, wind 2704, runway 16 center, clear for takeoff. Takeoff 16 center, last 470.
There's our Prime Air 767.
Delta 1061, traffic in position on Quebec, cross 916 left, follow company exiting the runway at Papa, into 99, and contact the ramp. Quebec, cross 16 left, follow company at spot 99, and the ramp, Delta 1061.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's Friday evening. This is not Vancouver. If you clicked on the thumbnail saying, hey, they're in Vancouver. Nope, not. Long story short, our original thumbnail that we had to blow it away just so we could get live. YouTube glitch or pilot error, I'm not really sure. But we are still very much in Seattle, and we are here to watch the multitude of aircraft that are departing right now, as well as coming in on runway 16 left. And every now and then we'll catch somebody coming in on 16 right. but with the smoke in the air because of the fires in eastern Washington, it's a little bit more challenging to get those long shots because, I mean, I can show you right now as we're waiting for these guys to depart.
Over takeoff 16 left.
Let me see if I can catch things here. You can see how that smoke is. Look at that off in the distance. And I can zoom out here. That's a whole lot of smoke. So this is the approach lighting superstructure for 16 right, and the one right in front is for 16 center. So those tower above a highway that's like right underneath them. But yeah, you can see here, this is like, you know, zoomed way out, you can see this is the smoke here. It's believe it or not, it was much worse a couple of days ago, but it's hard to catch shots of aircraft at, you know, when there's that much smoke in the air. All right, here's our 767 Prime Air.
683, edge cross, you'll see traffic off your left, so exit north of you. Sorry, say it again. Alaska 683, there is traffic taxiing on the center, they're going to exit north of you. Oh, copy, thanks. Alaska 1433, wind 26 yard 4, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 16 left, clear for takeoff on 1433.
Air Transport 3390 on the heavy shuttle car, runway 16 left, line of weight.
16 left, line of the way, Air Transport 3399 heavy.
Goes 3832, contact departure.
Skies 3832, good day.
There they go. Somebody's packages are headed somewhere. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure where these guys are going. I want to say it was San Bernardino. Yes, San Bernardino is where they're headed. And there's our FedEx flight.
Air Transport 3399 heavy, wind 26 yard 4.
So this 777 is headed over to Memphis, which is FedEx's primary hub in the United States. So they're in and out of here a lot. Of course, they've got several aircraft on the field right now. This one's going to get up on out of here, but UPS has another terminal up the way at Boeing Field. So you won't see UPS here. You'll see FedEx only.
Back to back, we'll cross 16 center, hold short, 16 left, Alaska 289.
There goes our FedEx behind the trees. Bye-bye. And with the heavies getting out of the way, the line's a little bit shorter now, but I think I see somebody coming up the rear there. That's probably our Aer Lingus. I know we got a couple of other Alaska flights here.
Air Transport 3399 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, Transport 3399 heavy.
FedEx 1223 heavy, wind 26 yard 4, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff. 16 left, clear for takeoff, FedEx 1223 heavy. Horizon 2372, settle tire cross.
Well, you know what? Seattle flights, I don't know if it's history or not because we don't know what the future holds, right? Things change all the time. So would it be cool to catch? Yeah, sure. Is it possible that they could make a return at some point? Sure. You never know. Maybe under a different carrier name, maybe under a different brand name. We just don't know. So, all right. So this Southwest flight that is about to hop on the runway here is headed out to Denver. I don't know who's going to replace them at this point. I think a lot of it has to do with who's willing to pay the most for the routes, and it's a bidding war. So whoever is able to plunk down the most cash has got something to do with it. All right, so this is a 737-800, 13 years old, so it's been flying around. If anybody knows Southwest, this thing gets around like every day. It gets around. They probably changed the brakes on this thing a couple hundred times at least. The way those Southwest pilots taxi and stop. So we got some more 737s coming up here. We got Alaska, which is right there. Alaska, that one's headed to San Francisco. We have another flight right behind them, which is an Alaska 737 MAX 9 headed to Milwaukee. And behind them, some folks headed to Alaska. 737-700. And then those guys right there headed to Hawaii. Now there's our Frontier flight. The Frontier flight that's getting coming active now has, this is Manuel the Squirrel Monkey livery. And I think I've seen this one before. You know, Frontier has their special liveries that they have, that they change on the tails of the plane. So the rest of the plane is kind of the same, but the tail has a special livery on it. So they're going to be coming through. I do see a Sun Country that has pushed back and headed to Minneapolis. It was scheduled to leave 2 hours ago, so they're running a little bit behind.
Horizon 2366, Seattle track November, cross 916 center, hold short, 916 left.
November, cross 16 center, hold short, 16 left, Horizon 2366.
All right, so again, this Alaska flight's headed to San Francisco, 737-900.
WestJet 1552, Seattle tower from Juliet, turn right, runway 16 center, exit Mike, and then hold short, runway 16 left.
A lot of people ask, well, how can you tell the difference between the MAX and the non-MAX aircraft? And it actually is kind of hard to tell. The MAX aircraft have the engine cowlings look different on the back of the engines, and you'll see this is a 900, but right behind them is it's a MAX 9. And if you, oops, very close. And what you'll see, like this one has flat cowlings off the back of the engine there. See that? It's kind of straight up and down. When you see this MAX series turn so that we get a profile view of it, you'll see that it has a scalloped back on the engine cowling. And that's a quick way to tell. See if we can see them. I'm zoomed all the way in at the moment.
Alaska 619, wind 2604, runway 16 left, takeoff.
But you can see it there. Notice the back of the engines where the paint, kind of ends. So you see that kind of up and down sine wave looking thing. That is a LEAP engine or LEAP technology, and that's what the MAX series uses. So it's a quick way to tell, because sometimes you think, oh, is it the winglets? And you can say, yeah, sometimes it's the winglets. But sometimes they retrofit the winglets with the both the vertical and, well, they're both vertical, but one goes up, one points up, one points down. So right behind them, this is a 700 series. So this is, they do make, or they will be making a MAX version of the 7 series called MAX 7. It has, I believe, been certified, or maybe not. Maybe it's a 10 that's been certified, but they're both close to being certified. But you see again, this. See, notice the straight. When I say cowling, you see the white. You see the silver part in the front, and then the white where the white ends and towards the back of the engine. The exhaust area, you see that's just straight vertical. But this 700 series is kind of, this is the shortest of all the 737s.
Caution jet blast to Charlie, cross 916 left, runway 16 center, line up wait.
Charlie, cross 16 left, line up wait 16.
Right behind them.
Alaska 202 on Charlie.
These guys, this is a Max 9
Hold
headed
short,
to Kahului. Oh, I see a heavy
Alaska
coming up the
202 on
road
Charlie,
here.
Cross 916 left, hold short 916 center, and just let me know when you're all set.
Yeah, Charlie,
Look at that. I believe that's our Aer Lingus. Pretty sure that's what it is.
Western 1552, traffic's on a 6-mile final. On Mike, cross 916 left, contact ground.
Mike, cross 16 left, contact ground, I should be seeing.
Horizon 2366 on November, cross 916 left, taxi via Bravo to your gate, contact the ramp.
November cross 16 left, Bravo to the gate, contact ground, Horizon 2366.
United AV 101, Papa cross 916 left, contact ground.
And there's the Frontier right in front of them. So they're about a taxiway apart right now. So it just shows you, again, going back to sense of scale. Because the Frontier is a, well, it's a 321 Neo.
Alaska 307, have a great evening.
Frontier flight 2275.
We can't miss Manuel the Squirrel Monkey.
Cross 16
Gotta
left,
catch
November
that.
over the ground, Frontier flight 2275.
Thanks for dropping in, everybody. This is kind of it wasn't an impromptu stream. It's a stream we had to put together because the silly YouTube controls on an iPad are just atrocious. And so we didn't get a chance to update the live stream thumbnail and everything like that. So no, this is not Vancouver. This is Seattle. And I know there's no description or any of that other stuff. But, I'm actually out here just to test this lens and see what it's like. And so far, I'm kind of liking it. It's not as wide as I want it to be in terms of zooming out. But, that's neither here nor there. But it is fun to be able to test it and be able to see, how far away. I mean, I think I can get in even closer with some what they call clear imaging. Yep, I can. Right there. So, but the thing is, when you get really close on stuff, every little motion bumps. The camera wobbles like that. So step inside. Okay, Peter does not live in Anchorage. Peter lives down in LA. Or he's a nomad these days. I'm not really sure. Goes all over the place. JFK, Anchorage. He's been in Anchorage for, I think, a week. I don't know much else about him other than that. How is this lens at night? We will find out. I brought my low light lens with me because this lens has a variable aperture, so we will see how good we can get it without getting a ton of noise. But I'm planning to leave in about sunset anyway, so I'm not gonna. I know that this lens is not good for like ultra low light like you have at an airport, but it still seems to work. With enough light, it seems to work pretty well. But I can tell I'm adjusting my ISO every little bit just to kind of keep the exposure right. All right, though. Here's our Manuel, the Squirrel Monkey. On the Frontier A321 Neo.
Left on Mike, Bravo to the gate, over ramp, Sky was 3365.
Alaska 202, contact departure. Departure Alaska 202. That was 3968, settle turn, Papa, cross 916 center, hold short, 916 left.
Papa, cross 1600, short 16 left, Sky 3960.
And then right behind them is that Aer Lingus A350.
Let's take up.
16 left, with takeoff, right 99.
As you can see here, there goes our Frontier. See you, Manuel. And here's our A330 headed back to Dublin.
Delta 2572, settle turn, Quebec, cross.
So yeah, step inside the magic. This is actually literally the first time I've used this lens. I picked it up like 3 hours ago. So I have no idea what it does, how it performs, or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure with a maximum aperture of, I think it's F5. It's not going to last. When it starts getting dark, it'll get pretty dark pretty soon. I'm already noticing the ISO just, starting to boost up a little bit. But, we'll keep playing. I still have some aperture that I can play with here. I can hear them talking.
Alaska 313, Settle Park, November, cross 916 center, hold short, 916 left. November, cross 16 center, hold short, 16 left, left 313.
There they go. There's the Shamrock, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, their call sign is Shamrock, blah, blah, blah. So Shamrock 321 or whatever. They don't go by Aer Lingus or anything like that. They're Shamrock. In case you didn't know. And my all-time favorite. We will see Seattle flights. I next year.
Shamrock 952 heavy, wind 2504.
We'll see. I would love to be able to go to as many air shows as possible.
Shamrock 952 heavy, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 16 Shamrock.
I do have this little obligation called the job, which is part of the. I like to keep part of the salary continuation plan, as I like to call it. So I can't call out too much, and I certainly can't take too many vacation days all at once. But if I plan it out right, I can make it happen. There goes our Shamrock.
Alaska 1413, Settle Park, November, cross 916 center, hold short, 916 left.
Okay, so there's an Alaska flight here that is headed to OKC, Oklahoma City. A lot of people in Seattle don't have a fondness for Oklahoma City, and it has to do with basketball.
Alaska 216, traffic in position, Mike, cross 916 left, contact ground.
Cross 16 left, contact ground, Alaska 216.
Goes 4153, November, cross.
So this is a 737-900, again. Straight cowlings on the back.
Alaska 313 on November, cross 916 left, traffic in position, contact.
And Sun Country is close up behind them. We do have an Iceland Air that's going to Reykjavik right behind this Alaska flight here. So these guys, so look at that, we got two, I wouldn't say rare, but rare-ish. Probably where you live, direct flights to Reykjavik are not a thing if you're not living in the Seattle area. So we have actually two flights. We have Alaska and Iceland Air going to Reykjavik. Now there's both arriving and departing flights. I didn't realize it was a thing to go to Iceland, but it's actually not a terrible flight from here because I go up and over the North Pole, so it's not that bad. But when you're on a 737 narrow body single aisle, not my favorite for long haul flights, but there you have it. I feel like, well, we have an aircraft on the runway. That's our 175. Well, it's cool, Seattle flights. I'm not sure where the channel will be overall when it comes time to figure out where we're gonna do things, where we're gonna take things. Still got a lot of thoughts about what I want to do with the channel. If we're gonna this summer. If you want a little peek into my thought process, this summer has kind of been about figuring out spots, figuring out things that people like and don't like, and just kind of getting a better sense of how my equipment can handle everything. So this is by far from a final product. This is really kind of where I want to start with and then go from here. So we're gonna, when the winter comes, I probably will find myself doing much shorter live streams because unlike some people, the cold and the wind and the rain is not something I want to subject myself to, especially when the channel is a hobby. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. And if I am somehow classified as media, okay. You know.
3923, contact departure.
So here's our Iceland Air. And what else is coming up the road here? A bunch of, oh, we do have a Lufthansa heading out, going to Munich. They're coming up the way now.
Take off 16 left to 156. Right, sir, 12 Echo, still fair, 116 left, halfway. Land on the way.
We do have the Asiana flight that'll be leaving a little bit later. Their ADS-B is lit up. All right, here's Sun Country. One thing's for sure, Sun Country and Southwest, you cannot mistake these two. If you're up in the air and you're looking over and you see another plane, if you see a big bright orange plane, you know that's Sun Country. Conversely, if you see a big blue plane, that is usually Southwest. I got that Delta Heavy. I'm keeping an eye on that one.
Right, sir, 12 Echo, wind 2503, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
737.
Second 3286.
800 series. This is a 15-year-old airplane.
286, land up and wait, 16 left. Lost 553.
That is nuts. Actually, what's nuts is that Prime Air plane, which is 33 years old,
November, cross my 16 center.
that we saw earlier.
And November, cross 16 center.
Okay, so next up here, Seattle Anchorage. 737 MAX 9. Just a year old. Do you see a lot if you don't live in the Seattle area? Of course, Boeing has its original headquarters here. They're not headquartered here anymore, but they still have two main production facilities here. One in Renton, which is not too far from here, probably about a 10-minute drive, or if you're in Seattle traffic, an hour. But the Renton facility produces a 737. They used to produce the 737 and the 757, but of course, with the 757 being discontinued a while ago, they just do the 737s there now. They also have another facility up in Everett, which is where they produce the 777X, the 777, the current 777s. And they opened up a new 737 production line there just last month that is going to handle the demand for all the 737s that are on order right now. So they converted an old 747 production line into 737 production, which I'm sure was a massive undertaking. So Lufthansa's coming up. This Alaska flight is this one here is headed to Omaha. I have a sound effect for that. Well, I don't. Somebody I know does. What's up, Randy? Welcome on.
661, wind 2604, runway 16 left,
We're just sitting here watching a stream that says it's Vancouver, but it's not because of the thumbnails situation, the upload situation in YouTube on the iPad is absolutely horrid, and so it defaulted to some thumbnail I used a very long time ago. My apologies for that. I did not intend to do a bait and switch. We are clearly at Seattle, but you know, it's a nice evening here. The smoke has somewhat subsided. It's still bad here. I haven't looked at the air quality index today, but I don't think it's that great.
556 while you hold traffic across. Holding on.
Wake up in the morning, you smell like barbecue, or you smell like a campfire, you know. Okay, this Alaska flight, 737-800 series, 20-year-old airplane that is headed down to Santa Ana.
All right, cross 16 left, Mike, going over ramps, guys. 3082.
Right, 2308 on November, cross my 16 left, cross Bravo to your gate, contact the ramp.
On November, cross 16 left and Bravo, and going ramp to the gate, right, 2308.
Alaska 661, contact.
And then right behind them, another Alaska flight. headed to Phoenix. I'm sorry, that's a Delta flight headed to Phoenix, 737-800, right behind them. I should have done that. And you can start to see the tail of the wing of the Lufthansa there. There she is. And that is an A350-900 series that's headed out to Munich. So we'll obviously get a better shot of them once we get through this lineup of 737s. And I believe it's all 737s. Let me look. We might have a 175, and of course we do. There's a 175 right in front of the A350. Then 737, 737. Yep. So max 8s. Yep. We've got a nice mishmash of flights trying to get up on out of here. Let's see what else we got here. That Asiana flight, I'm not sure when they are going to go, but we'll find out. Because their ADS-B is lit up. ADS-B, for those of you who don't know, ADS-B is it's a beacon system that aircraft use to not only broadcast their location, like radar just sends out a radar signal, puts a blip on a screen, and you have to mark that as a certain aircraft, and the old system would just use what's called a transponder that would send altitude information and directional information. But now with ADS-B, you get so many other things: rate of ascent, or rate of climb, rate of descent, the aircraft itself. There's far more information that's available to the controllers to see what aircraft are doing, and with ADS-B also they can provide more separation between traffic, and that's critical, obviously, to maintaining separation, especially during instrument conditions. Okay, so there goes the Delta flight, and see, just like I said, this Alaska flight is going to Reykjavik, so just hot on the heels of Iceland Air.
American 727 Settle Current November, cross my 16 center, hold short, my 16 left.
And you are listening to the Seattle Air Traffic Control on the east side of the field. The way Seattle International is set up, you've got east runway. They're all parallel, so there's 16 left, 16 right. The way we're looking at it right now, 16 left, 16 center, 16 right. And then the reverse of that, which will be 34. From the opposite side, the south end of the field. So we are listening to the east tower frequency. They have a one for the west side of the field, and that's predominantly the arriving flights. So there goes our flight to Reykjavik. And then right behind them is a flight headed out to San Diego, and this is a 737-800. Oh, Asiana is after 11 p.m.? Yep, I won't be here. Matter of fact, I will probably be asleep at 11 p.m. Or I'll be trying to figure out why I couldn't go live when I wanted to go live earlier today, but that's okay. I am over it. Got a fair amount of folks tuned in to what they thought was probably a Vancouver stream, which is not. This is Seattle. We're on the north end of the field. Pointing south. You're looking down the taxiway here that is basically adjacent to, it's one taxiway off the terminals. When I say off, I mean off to the west of the terminals. There's another taxiway that's a little bit closer that parallels the runway. Here's our Lufthansa flight. It's headed out to Munich, and that's an A350, which we have not had so far this evening. We get a lot of 350s in here, but we haven't had one. Oh, maybe that Condor was. I think that Condor, yeah, the Condor was a 350. All right. So we're just keeping an eye on everything here. It looks like we'll go into a little bit of a lull from what I can see here. Not a lot of aircraft on the ground that have their transponders or ADS-B on, but we'll keep an eye out because, you know, just looking at the scheduled departures,
Runway 16 Skyway 3199.
they're continuing to go through our time that we're set to end here, which is about 8:30 local. We do have the London Heathrow. That's a 777 that we'll try and catch. That will probably be our last flight at 8:40. And let's see, in terms of arrival standpoint, we do have an EVA Air that is coming in about a half hour. No, it's about 25 minutes, and that is a 787. And we also have a 330-900 that'll be coming in as well. And then we have our Manila Airlines flight that's scheduled to arrive at about 8:20. So we do have a fair amount of aircraft coming in still, so we'll just keep it rolling.
It was 3199, wind 2604, runway 16 clear for takeoff.
16 clear takeoff, 5019.
Lufthansa 489 heavy civil car, runway 16 line of way.
Lufthansa 489 all on up, wait 16.
Oscar 336, contact departure.
Strong 336.
Delta 9964, civil car on Papa, cross my 16 center, hold short, runway 16.
Delta 9964, cross 16 center, hold short, 16 left.
Oscar 665 on November, cross my 16 center.
That is a big bird. Yep, Seattle flights. Well, it's cool you'll be heading back. I am, there's, like we talked about before, I will not be streaming from the terminal unless it's an early morning stream where I can avoid the glare. But I'm not waking up early enough to go down there to test the glare. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I know what they were thinking. They were thinking, okay, we don't want people jumping off and going onto the ramp. I get that, but I'm just never going to stream from there because it doesn't make any sense. I reviewed all the footage that I took when I went there a couple weeks ago, last week, well, a week and a half ago, and I just was not happy with the glare shining through, so I ain't going back.
Sky 3199, contact departure.
All right, this flight is 737-900 headed out to Oakland, and they, a 9-year-old airplane.
Hold short, runway 16.
Cover cross 16 center, short 16 left, left 665.
Oakland's a, you know, if you live in the Bay Area, especially on the east, in the East Bay, Oakland is a really good option. There goes our 350. But even if you live in San Francisco, if you live in the city, you can take BART from the airport, or, well, it's not directly from the airport, but you can, sometimes it's just easier to get in and out of Oakland
Tower Ops 3 Quebec request
versus San Francisco International or San Jose.
Ops 3 via Quebec, cross 916 center.
Little travel tip there for you.
Via Quebec, cross 16 center, proceed Cascade Ops 3.
Welcome in, Gary Thompson.
27 traffic in position.
All right, this flight is headed to Hawaii. Take me with you, please.
Same ground, American 727.
737 MAX 9, a brand new baby airplane. It's only a year old.
Turn right, Bravo to spot 99. Contact the ramp.
Okay, one. Delta 2889 will cross Quebec, 16 left, and 89 ramp. Delta 2889.
Delta 9964, cross my 16 left on Papa. Follow company after right to spot 99. Contact the ramp.
There we
Delta
go.
9964, cross 16 left at Papa. Follow company traffic to 99. Wilco.
Lufthansa 49 heavy. Contact departure.
Departure Lufthansa 49 heavy.
Alaska 665, cross my 16
Seattle
left
Aviation,
November,
we will
contact
see.
ground.
16 left ground, Alaska 665.
Alaska 758, cross my 16 left on Papa. Contact ground.
We will see. As far as I kind of have a hard stop point today because I do have to work fairly early tomorrow, and I also need to figure out why I couldn't go live when I wanted to go live today, so I have to go home and troubleshoot. So that's all. That's neither here nor there. That you don't need to understand or worry about all that stuff. But I will be back. My plan is to be back on Sunday, and I'm going to thoroughly review arrivals and departures on Sunday and pick the best times to be either at this spot or down on the south side, depending upon the flow of traffic. Tonight we've got a south flow. Usually that's pretty common for this time of year to have a south flow, but it does change. And as a matter of fact, the winds were supposed to change about this time to a northerly wind.
At November across.
And I would be lying if I didn't say that I kind of feel that. Let me see what the winds are at right now. Yeah, so the winds are directly out of the west. They said they were going to be shifting to from the north, which means they could theoretically change the flow of traffic, and we might be catching some departures instead of, well, departures like flying over us instead of like this, where we just see the tail until they pop up. And they're out there. There they go.
Go 3688 Seattle-Tacoma in Quebec, cross 916 center, hold short, runway 16 left.
We were told to go Tango Papa, go 3688.
Go 3688,
he's saying don't do that.
Cross 916 center, hold short, runway 16 left.
Here's another thing. This lens has a lock ring on it that I don't like. So there's a tower for Seattle International right there. Here's a whole bunch of trees that I would love to top, so we could get a much better view, panoramic view of the airport. But that's kind of frowned upon here in the Pacific Northwest. So this is our window to look through. And of course, we've got the northerly view too. We do have a heavy coming in. Okay, let's take a look-see. I don't see anybody yet, but oh yeah, we do. We have a 330. A 330. I see him? Yep, I got him. Let me see if I can. Let's see how good this zoom lens does at 500 millimeters. All right. They are going to be. Okay, well, that kind of sucked. Sorry about that. I guess I stretched the cable a little bit too far, and I got a chance to see that heavy. My God. Okay, you think I would have more professionalism here, but I guess there it is. And are we zoomed all the way in? Nope, there it is. Sorry I missed that, guys. I saw it fly right over us, and I don't know what happened. Drove me crazy, but I just saw my entire gear just fall off my shelf, and the cord came unplugged. Anyway, well, okay, this has not been my day. We will recover, and we'll do well next time. All right, so let's take a look and see what else we got coming up here. That Asiana just keeps... Yeah, we'll see. If they do switch directions, you will... Actually, you're in a good vantage point. In all honesty, if you're on the observation deck, you're in a really good vantage point for watching the MD-11 take off. Either way, that's a pretty decent spot. So you should be fine. Let me see if I can get our other microphone. Hang on, it might be a little bit loud. Let me go ahead and change that real quick. Yep. Mute it first, plug it in. Okay, now, there we go. Back to normal. Sort of. Oh, my favorite plane, 175. Going to where? San Francisco. See, it's kind of the luck of the draw if you're going to San Francisco or any of these regional airports. It's like you may be on a 175, you may be on a max 8, max 9. You just never know. It just depends on what time you pick. At least you know with Alaska, it's going to be a 737 or a 787. That's basically their fleet. They do have 175s, but generally speaking, the 175s don't go between the major hubs. They go to the smaller airports in the area. Man, I'm bummed out I lost that heavy. Oh well. We do have another 175. Okay, so here's a Alaska 175. This one's going to Salt Lake City, so I'm kind of surprised about that. Not terribly surprised. It could be that this is the time of day where they don't need a big aircraft. When I say big, I mean it's all relative, like 737 big. Really just depends. Let me get my air traffic control back on. That disconnected unintentionally, of course. See if we can get that going. All right, there we go. Hit me. No. Might get something here. We'll just have to listen. What's up, Trucker Norm? Glad you made it in, buddy. This has not been my best stream by far, but it also it's allowed me to play around with this new lens that I'm testing out just to kind of see how close we can get to these planes from this vantage point. And I'd say pretty dang close. And it's fairly sharp. So I'm pretty happy with it. You know what? I haven't looked at the cell phone parking lot yet, but I'm definitely open to checking out other areas within the area around here, because this isn't a bad spot, but it is kind of, you do have limited vision. So this is what we're looking at, and this is what we have to work with. And it's not terrible, but it's not, I wouldn't necessarily call it the best either. So yeah, this is the 175 to Salt Lake City. And then I think we've got a little bit of a break. I mean, we do have some flights, like we have a Southwest flight that's taxiing up here. And we do have a Dreamliner. It's got its ADS-B on, but I haven't taken a look at it and see where that's up. So we'll just keep an eye on it. As you can see, the sun is going down, and because of the smoke in the area, we are seeing quite a bit. Oh, we got something coming up here. Hopefully I can catch him. No. Too zoomed in. There it is. Got to aim higher, Air Force. You can see the cast of the orange cast, the orange glow. That, of course, Seattle, or during sunset, you get that, but it's accentuated with the smoke in the air. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, there's like I said, there's one other lens that I want to look at. Oh, look at this dude. Hey, it's Ops, Pip. Checking for stuff. I can't even, I mean, like with my naked eye, I can't even, I can see the lights blinking, that's it. But there's Seattle Ops picking up stuff on the ground, whatever that was. So it looks like, with the heat waves on the ground, you kind of think, oh, it's hot here. It really isn't. As a matter of fact, last time I checked, it was in the 60s. Oh, no, it's 82. Okay, never mind. Last time I checked, I guess, was a while ago. Now, this is something that's interesting to see. Let me make sure I got that on. Yeah, I do. If we go over to my radar view here, you can see that... You can see the Seattle, why is that not coming up? Oh, maybe did it mess that up? Let's see. Go away. There it goes. I think there's okay, so you can see here, Seattle 82, winds are out of the west basically at 4 knots. So it's kind of a mild evening, but you see the flight's delayed. The flight's delayed is ridiculous. It's well, you can't see it. It's for some reason the screen's not updating like I want it to. But flight's delayed, saying 30% of the flights that are leaving Seattle today are delayed, which is nuts. All right, so this is a Southwest flight. This is going to Oakland. Try and get our air traffic control back again. And I'm not sure why that's not coming on, but anything can happen. Bye-bye Southwest as they taxi out on the 16 left. So we're into another lull now. You can see there's, if you were watching the stream earlier, this was stacked up with planes. Now we just see all the smoke in the area. Get our air traffic control.
President,
there we go.
2009 Seattle ground, wait for 2 Alaska to pass off your left, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
Fine 2 Alaska off the left, 16 left via Bravo, Horizon Air 2009.
So, okay, Seattle Aviation, Atlas Air 747 going.
Ground Alaska 15,
Atlas has 2 terminals in the area. They have one at Boeing Field. They have one at Seattle International. My only guess is that it's a repositioning flight. Like they might be coming in to Seattle to offload their cargo, and then they have to pick up their next load at Boeing Field. Typically, they fly 767s into Boeing Field. Atlas does. And so I'm guessing that that's just they're just repositioning. Yeah, it is a very short flight. It doesn't make any sense other than they have to load up a different load, and it's at Boeing Field instead of at Seattle International. That's my guess. Oh, I do see somebody coming up. Another Southwest flight.
Company, they're passing Mike now. Runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
All right, that's a further back company at Mike. Follow them to 16 left, Bravo, Alaska 1526.
Out to Oakland, and then so this one coming up behind them. This is another Squatty 700. This is the shortest of the 737s. This is headed out to Las Vegas.
United Maintenance 506 Seattle ground. Proceed via Bravo. Hold short November.
Proceed via Bravo. Hold short November. United Maintenance 506.
Go ahead and stop down our lens a little bit. Get them a little more light in here.
Hey, good evening, Alaska. 48 clear, 16 left on November, over to gate Charlie 15.
Sky 3932, if you could pull forward more.
We're moving along, Sky 3932.
Alaska 748 Seattle ground, spot 55, taxi via Bravo, contact north ramp.
Hope everybody's having a great Friday evening or Monday morning, what the hell? Saturday morning if you're tuning in past the international date line and it's already tomorrow for you. It is Friday evening here. It's approximately 8 p.m. local time. This is Geaux Flying. We're at Seattle International and we're looking down runway 16 left. This Southwest flight that is taxiing up right now will be departing to the south, headed to Las Vegas, and we will catch that momentarily. So if you go back and look at the stream so far, we've had our fair share of heavies here today, which has been great. Some special liveries as well, and it's just been all around, with the exception of the technical difficulties that we had earlier. It's been a pretty good stream. We do have to change the thumbnail from Vancouver to Seattle, but I'll do that later. And again, as you can see here, this is not normal for the area. All this smoke that you see, this is not smog. This isn't a particularly smoggy area. This is smoke that's blown over from eastern Washington. So this shows you the impact the fires have had on a place that's basically, we're a 4-hour drive away, so we're hundreds of miles away from where the fires are taking place right now, and you can see and a mountain range in between us to boot. So that just gives you an idea of how intense the smoke is.
Horizon 2009, early you can go is 0310. You're going to be a little early for your
There's
time. And
our
then taxi
control.
via
Hey, look at that. You can see it right there.
Alpha, hold short of Yankee.
There's the MD-11.
Golf Alpha
parked.
short of Yankee Horizon.
Well, there's the
2009.
MD-11's engine. Right there. So it's there. But anyway, there's the tower. It's a pretty tall tower. It doesn't look like it
What was the time again for
because I
departure?
can't zoom out any further than this. But I mean, I can get
early you
in.
can go is 0310 Zulu.
Can't see the people in there. They got a little balcony up there. Look at that.
0310 Horizon Air 2009. Thank you.
Okay, we have another plane coming up the taxiway here. Go over there. And this is an Alaska flight. What I need, so I'm a fairly technical person. I've been involved in tech, music aviator. I've been involved in tech since before a lot of people that are viewing this channel have been born. And when the new tech comes out, especially when it's hardware related and it's not thoroughly tested from the software side of things, that's where problems happen, and that's what I'm seeing happen with this particular device that I'm using right now. It's a lot of things are, from a hardware standpoint, are implemented perfectly. The software component of it is, it just needs improvement. So, but from a graphics and stuff standpoint, I, kind of.
Horizon 2009, amendments to instructions. Once you're on Alpha, hold short of spot 22.
Okay, where's this
Alpha short of spot 22, Horizon Air 2000.
Albuquerque.
Southwest 4517,
737-800 going to Albuquerque.
Southwest 4517, Seattle, ground, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
16 left via Bravo, Southwest
And
4517.
disappearing behind trees.
Ground, Alaska 419, Bravo, parking November 6.
So you may you might have asked yourself, if you've been watching the stream for any length of time, why don't you get closer? Well, I can get a little bit closer, but the problem is that it takes a dip. Like, here's the ground, so this is actually a decline of a couple of degrees, and so I drop about 10 feet, and then I've got this wonderful fence in front of me. So this allows me to stay above the fence line back here, and I just need a fancy pants zoom lens like this so I can catch even a little gnat of an airplane, the E-175, which happens to be headed to Santa Ana, coming along here. Even these guys, they're leaving now, and they're not going to arrive in Santa Ana until 10:30 local. All right, so we're definitely in that lull.
Seattle ground Horizon 2034.
We have another E-175 that's going to be popping out here real soon, headed up to Vancouver, where the thumbnail says we are streaming from. We're not. And then not too far behind them is another 175, so this looks like it's the march of the 175s right now. We do have another Southwest flight that's going to be taking off out of here pretty soon. And let me just go back to our departure area here and see what we see in terms of aircraft coming in.
United maintenance, pre-change proof.
Yeah. That would actually be ideal, Seattle flights, if I could get a room with a patio that faces the airfield. Because then I could just run a long extension cord and I could run that thing all day long. I don't even have to be talking the entire time, right? I could just be there for a portion of the stream. But it's one thing at a time. First thing I want to do is make sure I get these the lens that I want, get that selected, and then go from there. I have one more zoom lens I want to try. Not because I want the lens, but I want to see what 600 millimeters looks like on this camera. Because right now I'm running, this is tapped out at 500 right now. So that extra 100 millimeters might be able to see a pilot waving at us. Who knows? So that one's good. This 175 is going to Ontario. And I can see that Alaska flight is going to be, where are they? They're poking out. I can see them. I have a visual on them, but they're kind of behind the trees back there. But anyway, here's our Ontario flight.
Alaska 322 at November, going to November 14.
Okay, so he's got his landing lights
Alaska
on.
322 Seattle ground spot 66.
Anti-collision should be
Bravo,
on.
Contact north ramp.
Bravo 66 north ramp, plus 322.
Yep, there they are on the tips. So they are cleared for takeoff. They're going to take 16 left and head on out of here. I find it interesting. Let me see. I'm having a little bit of interesting issue with my
Evening ground Alaska 450 is off 16.
my iPad, and I'm not really sure what it is in terms of the
Alaska 450 Seattle ground spot
the
66.
video component of it. But I want to try this again. Let me see here.
Via Bravo over north ramp Alaska 450.
You can see how they are juking some of these planes off to the right there. That's the east side of that taxiway. Not entirely sure what's going on. Maybe the Alaska flight has a little bit of an issue, the one headed to Vancouver. Not entirely sure. But anyway,
Horizon 2009,
that's,
Alaska Field Embraer, they'll be passing off your left.
That's kind of what's going on here. So,
16 left via Bravo behind
I'm just going to keep an eye on things. But in the meantime, here's our Southwest flight. Go back to our main screen. There it is. Those of you new to the stream, when you hear that little beep, 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 that's a kneeling bus. Maybe about 50 yards from me, about 50 meters from me. It's employee parking is right here, so that's why. Okay, so the Alaska flight right behind them is headed to Boise. This is another 175. Good to know, Angel Lake. I think once I get my final lens, and then I'll have the flexibility I need to go anywhere around the field. That's the biggest thing. And there's our Vancouver flight that somehow had to take a little break. So there's Boise. And Vancouver. And then after that, it's kind of quiet. So I'll have to look at the maps, see if we got any fun things coming in. I know we have some departures happening. And let's see. We do have that British Airways flight. That is, they pushed to 9 o'clock. Not sure if that's going to be one that we get in the cards tonight, folks. I don't know what's going on with the Brits, but they are delayed. So we'll just keep an eye on things. As far as arrivals go, we do have from Manila, and they're delayed till 8:20. So they're about 10 minutes out, which is great because we can catch them. And that is a A350-900. So we'll definitely catch them. Well, let's put it this way. I hope to catch them. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with this lens on a short scale, on a wide angle scale. So we'll see.
All right, we'll proceed via Bravo, hold short of November, 781 Hotel Alpha Heavy.
You said you're going to Cargo 2?
Hey, firm, we're going to Cargo 2, line 5 for 781.
781 Hotel Alpha 2, thanks.
There they go. All right, so the airfield is quiet now. For the time being, we do have an inbound Manila flight. Let's see if I can find them on the radar.
66, taxi would call.
Alaska 663 Seattle ground, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
Show on map, where are they? Okay, so they are around Discovery Bay, just south of Port Townsend. So they're not far. They are not far. They are currently estimated to get here in about 10 minutes. So, and we'll probably, wrap thereabouts. Even though this wasn't the stream that the length of the stream that I wanted, but at least we get to catch a A350-900 before we wrap it. I've got some. Just kind of got quiet all of a sudden. It's so interesting being in this spot. Oh, we do have an Alaska. Where are you going, buddy? I wonder if they're being towed. No, they're on an active taxiway. But it says Seattle to not available. So we're not really sure what's going on there. But if they start taxiing north.
Delta 2854 approaching 88 with
let me see.
Golf. Ready taxi.
Delta 2054 Seattle ground behind the Alaska, exiting at Papa, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
16 left via Bravo behind Alaska, Delta 2854.
Okay, so I see Alaska 2850. I'm sorry, Delta 2854 just made the call in, and they're taxiing behind the Alaska. So
taxi via Bravo, remain my frequency.
55 Bravo.
We'll see, because I don't see any departure information for this Alaska flight unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I do not see it. Somebody with eagle eyes who has flight radar could probably spot it from me, but I do not see an Alaska flight that's supposed to be outbound. And this one says Seattle to not available. So, don't know what that's about. Go back to the tower here. Something to look at until we get some planes. Tighten this down so it doesn't. There we go.
1 Hotel Alpha, continue tow.
So I don't keep an eye on this guy. I can't imagine. Yeah, Portland Airport, I actually did some spotting there with Pip Hastings. That was a good spot to stream from. I actually really enjoyed it there. I'm looking to see about streaming from Haneda a little bit later this year, and potentially Heathrow. It really just depends on whether or not I can catch the flights that I want to catch. But yeah, I'm going to try and get because not because I'm trying to flex. It's just that I have access to
781 Hotel Alpha,
that I can fly standby on those airlines. So I'd like to get out there, see the world, but I need to get my passport renewed because it's been a while. So my passport's almost expired 5 years now.
Bravo, 16 left Alaska, 1559.
South Korea, Alaska does have an Incheon flight. I don't speak Korean, so I don't know what I would do if they start yelling at me for trying to stream from a spot that I'm not supposed to be streaming from. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
16 left via Bravo, Alaska 13.
All right, so this Alaska flight's headed out to Anchorage.
Contact North Ramp.
That's right, 5.
We do have an inbound aircraft here. Let's see what that is. Oh, this is our flight from Taipei, EVA Air. Now, hopefully I don't pull out all the cables in my rig this time. But there they are. They should pop out of here real quick.
Alaska Choke, proceed via Bravo Alpha to Cargo 2 on Alpha, contact North Ramp.
There they are.
I will proceed Bravo Alpha to Cargo 2 on Alpha, contact North Ramp, 71 Hotel Alpha, thank you.
Ground leading on and
Alaska 1310 Seattle, ground follow Delta, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
Follow Delta 16 left via Bravo.
That's why Alaska was waiting. Should be able to catch them right around here. There they are. Touchdown already. Wow, they landed right on the numbers. There they go. Now our Alaska flight's going to go ahead and line up and wait. Yeah, my Japanese is pretty, well, I wouldn't say it's solid, but my Korean is non-existent. I have some coworkers who speak Korean, and I'm like, I don't want to learn another language. I just don't want to get arrested if I go there, because I don't know the laws. I mean, I can look it up. I'm sure I can look it up. I wonder if I can catch, let's see, if I can catch the little bit of golden sunlight coming through there, right there. Almost looks like the tree is on fire, but that's the sun color. That's what it looks like right now. Pretty killer. All right, back to the action. And work with my f-stops again. There we go.
Ground Delta 831.
All right, so this flight.
Crossing 16 left to join Bravo, parking Bravo 7.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that Alaska Heavy just, they pulled, I think it was being towed.
Bravo,
Okay.
Delta 831.
This is headed out to Spokane, where all those wonderful fires are right now in Washington State. And yes, we do have flights landing on the right side. I just don't bother with them because there is one spot that if I could just get to it, it would be the perfect spot to be able to catch both runways. I think I'd develop a case of whiplash in the process, but it'd be cool because you'd be able to see the both landing and departing traffic. But this is the best vantage point that we have at the moment. So like I said, this is headed out to Spokane. And our Anchorage flight is about ready to take off. So this is 737-900. Let me verify the registration on that. Looks like 407AS. Yes, that is 407 Alpha Sierra.
Bravo 7 Alpha with Gulf.
United 1218 Seattle ground follow. American will be passing off your left, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
16 left via Bravo behind American, off the left, United 1218.
And then this flight coming up here is headed out to Juneau. Cool, thanks Seattle Aviation. We're going to get that Philippines for sure. Now that I've kind of figured out how I need to set myself up to catch those planes, I just gotta,
United that's facing you.
Again, just gotta aim high.
Left, taxi via Bravo.
Follow the United facing us and 16 left via Bravo. Skyway 3698, we have Golf.
So their landing lights are on, anti-collisions are on, so they are clear to line up and wait. There goes our departing flight. Headed out to Spokane.
United 1218, are you able to get past?
That is all of a, well, it says it's an hour flight. I don't think it's an hour flight. I think it's less than that.
Sky 3698.
Sky 3698, you'll be number 1.
And then we got a...
16 left, taxi via Bravo.
16 left via Bravo, Sky 3698.
We have a Delta flight that's headed out to LAX. So, hour and a half flight.
1218, once the aircraft passes, continue your taxi.
And this is a 737-900ER. Wow, they've already got their landing lights on, so they're ready. Any collisions not on yet, but they're gonna take the active. So you think that
contact north ramp.
Like,
North ramp for American.
how would you time your flight so that you weren't like waiting in line? Because literally these people are backing, they're pushing back from their gate, they're taxiing, and they're going on to the active runway with no wait at all. You know, it's like, how do I pick that flight so I'm not sitting on the ground? Truth is, you really can't. Yeah, the 7879J that's probably what happened. It just went to the hangar. But they're gone. They're off of ADS-B now, so it is what it is. Well, no, they're there still, but now let me see. Huh. They're on the parallel taxiway right now, so I'm not really sure what they're doing. We'll see. But they're taxiing very slowly for somebody that would be departing normally. So, especially given the fact that there's no traffic here at all. All right, so coming up here is this is 737-900 headed to San Jose. It's Alaska, what is that, 1310? And I do see a flight on final. Is this who I think it is? Yes, it is. So we're not going to pay attention to this Alaska.
98 for Vancouver, earliest you can go is 0336 Zulu.
Because we're going to go over here.
And then taxi via Bravo Golf Alpha, hold short Yankee.
Bravo Golf Alpha, hold short Yankee, Skywest 3698.
Okay, that was just my phone this time. Where are you? They're over there. There they are. Okay, so we're going to wait till they pop out of here. There they are.
Sky 3027, I'm being Quebec 12 with Gulf taxi.
Sky 3027, Seattle ground, runway 16 left, taxi via Bravo.
16 left via Bravo, Sky 3027.
There they are. And touchdown. Cool. Love to be able to catch that stuff. All right, let's see if we got any other fancy pants airplanes that we want to see before we wrap up this evening. It is quickly approaching sunset here, and they're not adamant about kicking us out, but you know, I'd rather not ruffle anybody's feathers if I don't have to, because I don't see a whole lot of heavies getting on out of here anytime soon. Yep. That looks like that is the case.
Ground Alaska 572, clear and 16 left at November for November 15th.
So,
Alaska
Seattle
572,
Aviation,
ground 60,
have some fun watching from the observation deck.
60 via Bravo.
For everybody else that's tuned in, thank you for putting up with my fumbling with the lens and all this equipment today. It's been quite the adventure and quite the frustration. I think I'm going to go have a milkshake right now.
Horizon 23.
Maybe an adult milkshake. We'll see. But we'll go ahead and wrap it. Look for a post for Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. This spot is great for evening stretches, but we just don't, we don't know. It just depends on the flow. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Trucker Norm. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Seattle Flights. Thanks, Pip, Seattle Aviation, Music Aviator, everybody that has chimed in, except for the few people that put some nasty stuff in there. But thank you, Seattle Flights, for catching that. Randy, if you're still here, step inside the magic. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Enjoy your Friday evening or Saturday morning, and we will catch you on the next stream, hopefully very, very soon. All right, take care.
Ground United 2240.
Charlie Foxtrot Charlie Sierra, pop out with the traffic.
Helicopter traffic is crossing center line 300 feet now, no factor. Runway 1 forward, left 22 in the ballpark. That's 227 Mike, anticipation. Crossing winds with 32070, runway 14 right, clear for takeoff, Al-Qaeda departure approved.